Happy Wednesday. So let's just call this Tip Wednesday because I don't know, maybe I'll do Tip Wednesday every week. But I mean, heck, all the videos are tips, so whatever. I just couldn't make the video this morning. I was just, I wasn't feeling it, and that's just life. I had a really hard morning, worked out really hard. Everything went great as far as the workouts were concerned. I actually did back, and then I rode after that. Rode freeboard, so I'm very happy to be back on my freeboard. I'm so happy. I'm doing okay. Haven't fell and hurt myself, so I guess that's a good sign. But yeah, the back workout went great. Need to rest because I got to go into legs tomorrow, and I have sprints in the morning, interval training. So, I'm looking forward to it. I like those. I like those days where I do the sprints in the leg workout because it really pushes me to, go to the edge, especially because I do the dips and I'm adding one dip on per week. So now on those days, on the days where I do my legs, the dip, all together, I do almost 100 dips. Next week it'll be over 100 because it'll be 34, 34, and 34. So, I mean, as far as like hypertrophy and then heavy deadlifting that day, on top of sprinting before that early in the morning, it's a murderer. So check this out. The tip that I wanted to give you today as an endomorph is, and I'm going to start trying to do this myself, on the days where you do cardio or HIIT training, like the interval running that I do where I have my heart rate monitor. I run from goalpost to goalpost on the football field or soccer field or whatever you want to call it. And what I do is I warm up, I get my heart rate up to over 145, and then I run for a half an hour, intervals back and forth, keeping my heart rate above 145 the whole time. That's my fat burning heart rate for someone my height and weight and age. So I keep it above 145 for 30 minutes, and usually I can get it up to 170 a lot of the time. I try not to go above 170 because then it's just too much. I could do it, but it's just really no use because it's serving the purpose it needs to serve, which is fat burning for a half an hour. I'm burning 300 calories doing it for sure. So, and that's all I want is 300 calories in a half an hour. So, if you're doing those kinds of things on those days, or distance running or whatever, you can walk if you want to, but you're just not going to burn as many calories. You just try, if you're going to walk, try and walk for at least an hour to an hour and a half and rolling hills to burn 300 calories. But if you are going to eat carbohydrates, they need to be 100% in vegetable form on the days where you do your cardio because you want to drain your glycogen levels down on those days. I'll go into another tip later on of why you want to do this, but you'll see fat loss from this for sure. I mean, it guaranteed, especially if you're doing cardio 3 days a week, which if you're trying to be an endomorph with a lean, chiseled, cut, ripped physique, you're going to have to do cardio, especially if you're heavy right now. You're going to have to do some form of cardio. I mean, sorry. But especially if you're trying to have six-pack and be super, super cut as an endomorph. But yeah, do that. Do the 3 days a week cardio, and on those days, you're all leafy green vegetables for carbohydrates, and don't allow your carbohydrates to go over 50 grams for that day. That's it, 50 grams on the days where you do cardio. On the other days, you can go back up to the 75 grams total, or 300 calories. I recommend not going very much higher than that. I know it's not a lot, but the difference is on those days you can have your corn tortillas and starchy carbs. See, you can't have much of them because you're an endomorph, but if you keep those carbohydrates down 3 days a week, just eating vegetables, leafy green vegetables, and no more than 50 grams of carbs, and then you have your 75 grams of carbs for the other days out of the week, you're good. I mean, that's just the way you have to live. I know it sucks. That's why I do these videos. It's not a happy camper life being an endomorph. That's why I think that these daily videos are important. It helps me too because I'm actually, able to kind of like, analyze the things that I need to do to improve my situation. I'm not perfect, you know. I have problems, you know. I have problems, you know, sticking to my diet. You know, I'm not gonna lie. You know, there's some things that, you know, need to change around here, but for the most part, I do good. And also, for the most part, I'm recomping. So either way, this okay. I'll share a little something with you. This is the difference. I can get chiseled at the weight that I'm at right now. I could just recomp my way there and keep eating exactly the way that I'm eating. The difference is I'm not going to weigh less. I'm trying to gain strength and lose weight. That's very difficult, especially the weight that I'm lifting on some of my lifts. It's pretty heavy. So, you know, trying to do that and lose weight at the same time, you know, and lift the weight that I'm lifting at my size, I'm not that big of a guy. It's difficult, and I'm not getting any younger. I mean, and you know, I don't eat meat, so you know that's another factor. Because so my protein intake, you know, is very, you know, like shaky, because I get my protein through like beans and nuts, which you can't eat a lot of because beans and nuts have a lot of fat. So I have to watch the fat intake from those. Well, not the beans don't have as high a fat. They do have some fats, but mainly the nuts, like cashews. If I eat too many cashews in a day, especially if I was say I wanted to eat enough cashews for it to cover my protein intake for the day, which is like a 0.82 grams per pound of body weight. So and that's lowballing it. You know, I'd be looking at least like 160 grams. Do you know how many calories 160 grams in protein cashews would be? Oh man, it'd be so many calories, and you'd feel sick. It'd be so much fat in your system. It just wouldn't even be worth it. I mean, you know, cashews are great, but to a certain extent, you know, too much of anything is, you know, is just it will be awful. I love cashews, but I can't just eat nuts all day. I can't just eat 2,000 calories of nuts. You know, I want to have other, you know, satiating foods the other day. I like fruits and vegetables. You know, I prefer having fruits and vegetables as, you know, a larger part of my diet. So, you know, but I mean, you know, sorry I'm rambling on, but that's what this is. You know, those are the gems. I'm dropping gems right now. So take it or leave it. Happy Wednesday.